AM was sick, and I love it. We got a post-military over 30 Terran player crushing it in 2022. It's against the law, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, especially given this lens of so many Koreans really underperforming DRG hero creator in that round of 36. And honestly, even in the group stage, just not getting out of groups because he decided to do something dumb against Lambo. The fact that we saw Ryung do as well as he did just kind of put a band-aid over the hurt just a little bit. But Chickenman, we got someone channeling a little bit of Ryung here in this game. We got the 2 racks behind the mineral line setup. This should be fun.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it'll be fun for us. It'll probably not be too fun for Tavo, as Hanmano just going for the early cheese here. I'll be honest, most of the games I've cast today have been extraordinarily quick. There's been a lot of cheeky plays, and Hanmano has not been away from that, as already earlier won a game with like a proxy marauder play. So this is interesting. This build will kill me a lot. Do you ever get the barracks in your natural? That build, oof, gets me all the time. Just not ready for him.
I actually don't run into that all that much. It's great. Mainly because I don't run into Terrans or Zergs. I just play Protoss every single game. So we're fine. You cannot get proxy barracks if you just don't play anything other than Protoss players. It works that well.
That's true. These are Marines. I'll be honest, I was fully expecting there to be double Reaper on the way. Is this just going to be a Marine contain?
I guess he's bunker rushing the low ground. I guess having these bunkers are nice. It gives you a spot to retreat to. And he's going to probably, clump up 6 Marines maybe? Because this has not been scouted. There's been...
No, and the Reaper goes the completely wrong direction.
Oh, well.
It gets scouted now, but... I mean, there is a wall. There's a bunker on the way.
Finally, an SCV. So Tavo lets the wall down because he says, okay, I cannot let this snowball. I need to do something here. So by opening the wall, he does mean his SCVs can go down. SCVs of Hanmano are starting to fall as well. You kind of want to keep those alive for the bunker repair, but they will die in exchange for 6 SCVs from Tavo here as he kind of waffles up and down the ramp. Every time this happens, he loses more and more and more Chickenman. This is cruel. This is unusual.
Yeah, this is very painful. Now we do have the bunker finishing though. I just if Tavo had like a high ground CC or something, I'd be really digging this. But losing 10 workers and not really having anything to show for it other than a bunker is very painful. And Hanmano can drop a factory back at home. Look at that, it's already done. There's a starport going down and could even drop a CC in the near future.
That's, I feel like you just kind of retreat to the bunker now, but instead Hanmano loses the rest of his stuff. The Marines, they pop out into their dooms now. So this should be the end of it, but as you said, 16 workers to 22. That kind of defines everything, right?
Yeah, it's pretty painful here for Tavo. He's going to go ahead and just drop a CC, which I think is a fair play. Hanmano needs to be defensive back at home with no bunker or no barracks rather. Oh my God, he's building a Marine in the mineral line.
There's Hanmano with a Marine in the mineral line. Now these Reapers are in the main base, but with double Hellion here, realistically, the Reapers should not get too much done. 2 workers will go down, make it 3. So grand total of 6 workers have died thus far, but again, Hanmano is up 5, and he's putting Marines in. Okay, SCVs are able to perform that citizen's arrest. Unfortunately, Hanmano, the cheeky plays are not going to be quite as cheeky, but well, look what he's doing here. He's denying tech labs. He's denying add-ons from Tavo. That's cheeky. That's cute.
It's so cheeky.
Wait, build a Marine here. You can snipe the SCV. You can delay the starport. It is your destiny, Hanmano.
Do it. He's doing it. Oh, I don't know if that Marine gets out.
No, it doesn't. But
that tank is like, a little too much DPS.
Well, it makes sense because this is 2,000 atmospheres. It makes sense that you have the deeps.
I get that was good. That was I'll take that one. It's a bit of a stretch, but we take those.
Radio silence on the other side. Waiting for Chickenman to show his approval here. So the Hellions now trying to dive on in, but there's a tank here, and there are Marines, and it's going to be hard. Cyclone lock on as well, but the Hellions get out. Medevac should stay alive. Again, he's committing to this aggression, but he's not getting nearly as much as he did early. And every time he commits to something like this, every time he commits to some level of aggression and shenanigans, it is an opportunity for Tavo to find his way back into the game. Every time Tavo defends, it is, again, SCVs get a little closer, tech gets a little closer, because Hanmano delays his mid-game just that much more.
Yeah, this is actually feeling okay for Tavo now. Like, he's still a few workers behind, but it's not too bad. That's 2 base to 2 base at this point. We're going up into the same tech, and once we get into that mid-game Terran phase where we have Marines and tanks coming out, 3 workers doesn't really matter anymore, right? It comes down to where your tanks are and who's in better position and whose Raven spells get off first. There's a lot of other options that come into play, and so that early game damage, it was nice for Hanmano, but I don't think it's really going to matter at the end of the day, which is, I feel like, often how TVT early game starts. No matter how cheeky somebody tries to get, if the game doesn't just end there, we just kind of even out, and now it's just going to be about the Marines and the tanks.
I mean, you say that, but Hanmano, his third base is just about done. Tavo has no designs on a third base. He's going to be able to afford 2 Ravens instead of 1. The strap, again, it has been repaired. It's going to try to maybe find a little bit more value later on. But there's Cyclones and Ravens, so it's not going to get too much of anything. Good scout, though. But big deals. Additional barracks getting added on in much faster from Hanmano. He's going to be able to absolutely skyrocket that supply. Third base on the way. So, quote-unquote, it does not matter. But I'm here to tell you the bad news, Mr. Man of Chickens. It absolutely does, at least right now.
It's kind of mattering. Yeah, that third base being done and the extra barracks. Now it's feeling like Tavo skimping on that a little bit. The Hellions are going to dive in. Again, don't get anything done. But yeah, this is now going to go from bad to worse for Tavo, as the economy of Hanmano should be able to kind of skyrocket forward. Having that production up will be able to support it as well. Tavo, I think, needs to kind of go soon if he's going to chill on 1-1-1 production. You can't do this for very long.
Well, I mean, he is setting himself up for it. This heavy commitment to Vikings means that his eventual theoretical push is going to have significant air superiority. So theoretically, he can maybe make something happen here. Get a good siege up position, but he's going to add the third base, second and third barracks on the way. All of these things. So actually, he's not going to make the use of that time. He's just going to turtle up again, trying to take it late. But Hanmano, he talked about taking advantage of timings. He has 3 Ravens on the field, not just 2.
Yeah.
He has so many auto turrets, disables, armor strata missiles, whatever you want to use. I mean, right? It's tempting to say you can never have too many Ravens. That is incorrect. If you have an army of Ravens and nothing else, you will be sad. This is not the days of Ketrok back in like 2015.
Thank God. I don't need a Villa versus a Villa again in my life.
Don't
ever.
you mean
Thank
Tank
you very
God?
much. I don't know what I mean. I don't want it anymore.
Shout out to Goody. Anyways, so because this is just the nostalgia stream where we're making Chickenman feel old. Hanmano is going to look to siege on up here, and with the Viking lead, it is a little bit annoying, but that will start to get dropped away a little bit more. It's 7-4 now. It was 8-4. It was worse. But again, with the Viking lead, it's really hard for Hanmano to really make an effective push because he just never has vision. The Ravens are in a significant issue, so the Vikings run on forward, and the lack of anti-air means that, well, Hanmano has his push going, but he's going to be forced back. Running away.
Yep. Tavo's going to be able to take a third base. Got to say, I don't love the Brood War CC. Not a big fan of the classic CC. I don't know how you feel about it. Don't like it. I don't like it.
Wait, you don't want... You're saying you actually want to be able to tell the difference between a regular command center and a planetary?
Yeah, I do. I would like that. That sounds lovely. That sounds amazing. Instead of having to treat every command center like it's a planetary, because it just might be.
Yeah. It's funny how, there was this pressure to not use skins in StarCraft for the longest time because, oh, well, A, the fan base doesn't want them. Again, this is Blizzard talking, not the fan base. And,
Right.
well, it might cause problems. And then for a while, they did a really good job. No pay to win. And actually, then there is a pay to win Terran skin. I think there's a Ravager skin that is a little bit weird, too, that does something.
there's a roach skin.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell if they have tunneling claws, and there's that immortal skin that looks exactly like the stalkers with the same skin, because it has the short arms and they have like the same. They look so similar. If you have an army of stalkers with like 3 immortals mixed in, you can't tell on first glance which ones are the immortals. You need to like actively look. But other than that, it's pretty fine. The planetary is annoying. It is funny how, yeah, for a long time you couldn't use skins, but ESL doesn't care, so now you can use skins.
And that was actually...
Although I don't know if they do in official matches. Are there skins?
I'm trying to think. I've cast a lot of officials and I can't really remember. I don't even think about it. Unless it's like...
it used to be in the qualifiers you weren't allowed to use skins, but people did anyways, and nobody ever said anything about it most of the time.
The big deal was those when you had the unlockable skins.
Yeah.
Right, and the Zergling skin, the Zergling wing skin, and you just could not count the number of Zerglings.
You really couldn't.
Bane
That
Wars.
was a big problem. Banelings, there were some Baneling skins that were tough to tell as well. They were like barely had the green of the Bane or something, so you couldn't really tell which ones were Banes and which ones were Zerglings. But yeah.
I thought it was the craziest thing though that Blizzard was saying, yeah, no, don't use skins in our tournaments, when Blizzard is selling these skins, and you would think they would want to market it by having the skins on full display, and in fact having casters talk about how, oh wow, that's a really cool skin that Hanma or that Tavo has. I wonder where I think I'm gonna go get it after this game.
I used to think the exact same thing. But there's Hanma is really pushing for a location to try to attack in here, which I don't know how you feel about this in TVT. I always favor whoever is trying to find damage, and Tavo moves across the map with the double drop, and it is getting completely shut down here. Hanmano absolutely, I mean, he's just gonna kill both of these medevacs. No boost available. The shutdowns are so strong, but it gives Tavo an opening to maybe move across.
Wait a minute, these tanks are on siege.
Catch so many of these tanks. Oh my god. Oh, he doesn't even get one.
He has stim, right? Yeah, he does have stim. I don't know. He should have jumped on that, but he decided not to, and now the tanks are getting some rather nice shots. I think one tank died. No, never mind. The low tank is still there. And now Hanmano says it's time for me to jump on top of things. Armor Shredder missiles. All the tanks are going to get disabled. And sure, Hanmano, he's shredded, but he still has an upgrade lead here. Stimming on top of things. This is what he was looking for. Tavo.
Yeah,
that's not what
bit
you
unfortunate.
want.
Got caught in that valley there. Had a chance to jump on some of the tanks, didn't take it. And Hanmano with so many Marines and so many Raven spells just shut down a bunch of those siege tanks. And now there's no way to hold against this many units. GG gets called. Hanmano is going to take game number 1. A lot of good defense there from Tavo, I will say. Defending against the opponent Terran player, like moving around, trying to find a weakness. It's really difficult to make sure your tanks are constantly moving and in the right position. If you're out of position for just a couple seconds, they can get a good siege position in between your bases or on your third base, which is why I kind of favor the player who's attacking. You can usually catch your opponent out of position at least once or twice. But Tavo did a good job defending there. It was just that attack didn't end up going quite so well.
Yeah, the other thing I really liked, we noticed Hanmano starting to realize that I can't really break my opponent here. It's 3 base Terran. Tanks are a thing. It's 2,000 atmospheres. So we saw him do that Maru thing where he's not maxing out getting to full biotech before moving into the next transition. Already we saw double starport going down, tech labs on them. He was getting ready for that Raven transition because he understood that, well, even if he can't break his opponent now, he can build the setup that he needs to do to make sure that he can eventually break his opponents. So now game number 2 is going to be in the works in a second. Berlin grabs the map. It's a little bit shorter. As we got Ginio in my chat. Hello, Mr. Ginio. Saying go Hanmano. Well, Hanmano took game 1.
Yeah, looking pretty good too. That was a very strong game from Hanmano. Obviously, the opening was very good for him, but even beyond that, I felt like the mid game was very strong for our Korean Terran.
That it is.
As we hop into game number 2 here, I have to say thank you to Grumald for the Prime subscription. It's a reminder to everybody out there in both of our channels that if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free to one channel every month, including both of our channels. We're both open to Prime subscriptions. Spend those Bezos bucks.
Exactly. It takes account. It makes up for the makes up for any of the inequities, right? If Jeff Bezos has $8 billion or whatever he's got, this is your mark of resistance. This is how you are going and sticking it to the man by spending the money, the little bit of penny, the penny that he throws at your feet, and says, "Hey, be happy, peasant. I've given you a penny."
You ever say a number that sounds so big, but it's still too small because the actual number is insanely large? Because that's what you just did.
Yeah,
8 billion is an insane amount. He's at like 200 billion.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The economics of scale.
Yeah, my brain can't handle that kind of scale.
Shout out. All right, you talk about scales though. So before I was born, as I'm the eldest child in my family, right?
Okay.
When my mom was pregnant with me, she was apparently complaining about how she couldn't tell like how much weight she was gaining, whatever. So you know what my dad does for Christmas?
What?
He buys her a scale for Christmas, wraps it up as she's like 6 months pregnant with me.
Oh my god. Did she throw it at his head?
Okay, well, I don't know if she threw it at his head, but I can tell you that she will not let him live it down 25, 26 years later.
Well, I mean, that's good. If she didn't throw it at his head, the amount of self-control there is pretty astounding. 6 months pregnant, gets a scale for Christmas. I would have thrown it. That would have been thrown at somebody's head.
I mean, it was coming from a place of love, right? Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
So was the throw, I'm sure.
Exactly, yeah. She loved throwing it. Thank you, Mr. Starving Box. You're welcome. I do try, but okay, so you said you expected Proxy Reapers in game number 1. Well, that's not what we said. It's Proxy Reapers in game 2, though. They're going to find their way onto the high ground. Shutting down the factory, not really. That would have been very nice, making it so no Hellions pop out, because Hellions, of course, Chickenman, as you know, they are the end game. That is when this pressure starts to end, and even then, the Reapers, they got to get more than a single SCV to make this worthwhile. So third Reaper is now joining it up, means they two-shot SCVs. And the low ground command center will get canceled. I mean, that's fair. Tavo knows he can't keep it.
Yeah, that is fair. I think he was hoping maybe the Reapers would chill in the main base for a little longer, but the Hellions do counter the Reapers, but there is some fancy micro the Reapers can do. Obviously, the Hellions don't heal by themselves like the Reapers. So that's something that I often see taken advantage of with these Proxy Reaper plays. But once the second Hellion gets out, we're going to have 3 Reapers for Tavo. This is feeling pretty held here, as long as he's not completely out of position. Maybe a few SCVs will go down, but I think Tavo should be feeling pretty confident in this at the moment.
I mean, he does have one-shot SCV potential. 6 Reapers is kind of that critical mass perspective. And oh, wait a minute, he's going to be able to catch the army here. Tavo.
Whoop.
Oh, no, go on the high ground. Find your spot on the high ground. I'm gonna, but no. Never mind.
All right. Okay. Posturing, chilling.
They're 2 gorillas, silverbacks, looking to beat their chest, find their way, posture up.
I don't know why Tavo keeps going out here.
Oh, looking for the concave. Grenades, not really landing, and Hanmano runs away. This has not got enough damage, by the way, Chickenman. It might still. There's still an opportunity, and look at this wall that Hanmano has made. He's denying stuff. I don't know what this is, but I love it. I am a big fan. Hanmano is my favorite player.
Cute. Oh, and it's continuing to delay the starport, but it's not really doing too much.
Ring around the rosy.
Oh, it could have closed the depots.
Reaper's going down, or reactor's going down. Reactor's going down. There we go. Reactor's dead. Ring around the rosy, my friend. Pockets full of posy because it's a plague of Reapers in this game.
That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. Tavo sieges up the tank, but the barracks is doing a fantastic job soaking up damage. Every time Tavo tries to A-move, that barracks is tanking damage, and the Reapers are allowed to actually get some more damage done here. They got 1 Hellion, 3 Reapers, and 4 SCVs, not to mention the reactor. I'd say that is now definitely worth this pressure.
That it is, and 4 Reapers still remain. And what do we have in this medevac? Double Cyclone. Oh, Oof.
Ooh.
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 That's cheeky, mate.
Yeah, I'm not Australian. I will not pretend to be.
I will. I will happily pretend to be Australian. Oh yeah, mate. That's where I'm from, down in the Cairns area, up in the north side there. Yeah, right on the coast, mate. You know, Struth.
See, the only thing I can do is if you say "good I might," there's no way to make it not sound Australian. Say,
That's
good
right.
I
Yeah.
might, as in like good, the organ, and then there's the potential you might do something. No
Good
shot.
eye. Good eye, mate. Good eye, mate. Good eye, mate. There we go. We got it.
I guess good I might is more like Cockney, like more or like British.
Well, no, I
slummy.
was trying to do what you were saying, but with the Aussie accent.
Mm.
So I was too deep. I was 2 levels deep there, mate. Okay. it
Aussie,
wouldn't
Aussie,
work.
Aussie. All right, so Tavo does have he does have Cloak done before his, actually no, he's already got one Banshee on the other side of the map here, and with Cloak being done, do we have any scans? Not in the natural, plenty in the main base, but the Cyclone's just not where it needs to be. Lock-ons on the Cyclones will push the Command Center back for a little bit, so even as Hanmano takes some damage. Okay, so you scan, but you need to actually kill things.
You need a unit there.
You need to have units. There we go.
Okay.
Finally, 8 workers go down.
Yeah, 8 workers and a scan with the Raven out, which is a little unfortunate.
Unfortunately.
Because of how late that scan ended up being. The Raven was already done. So Tavo does get some counter damage and actually takes the worker lead in this game,
Oh no.
at least for the time being.
We need to ban these Shis. They're finding too much damage. But Cyclones say nuts to that one. So Banshee goes down. But still, you go for a Raven, as you said. You go for the Raven, you still have to spend 2 scans. That's 500 extra minerals, give or take. And I guess the Raven is not quothing properly.
Yeah, it definitely needs to quoth a little harder and tell those Banshees never more. But at least Hamano has the quicker 3rd orbital command. So using those extra scans is a little bit painful, but I mean there's plenty more than 2 scans worth of energy on that earlier 3rd, and should be able to catch up in workers fairly quickly with the triple SCVs. Other than that, this game feeling fairly even at the moment. Stim going to be a little bit quicker for Tavo. And Tavo is ahead in Vikings 2-1.
Yeah, we've started to see, or we saw the same thing in last game where Hamino, he goes for delayed stim in place of, again, getting that quicker 3rd base, getting other stuff. Just deciding that, honestly, well, I don't really need it. I'd rather spend my gas other ways. But Amino's sitting at a big bank, 800, 400, and he has a tech lab on the barracks. He should research stim, unless he's planning on going for mech, but he's not. This is bio.
Nope,
He had
there it is.
two barracks. There we go. Ooh, wait, never mind. I was gonna say 4th and 5th before the 3rd, but the 3rd's there because your friend cannot count.
You're not allowed to count on stream. It's actually
Yes.
against the law.
tried-
Yeah.
I tried to do the math on how deep 2,000 atmospheres it actually was, because for every 10 meters you go down into the ocean, it's about 1 atmosphere.
Oh.
And I was so wrong. It's like,
So that would be, is that 20,000 atmospheres
it's 20,000 meters,
or 20,000 meters
which
rather?
is 60,000 feet, which, give or take 12, 13 miles.
How many leagues is that though?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, I have no idea. Is a league a real unit of memeasurement? It
Yes,
probably
it is.
is.
It is.
It's probably got like a super random ass number associated with it. 1 league is 13,312 inches.
Yeah, well, I cannot fathom why it would be like that.
Oh.
Oh.
That was good.
All right, so now the tanks are going to siege up here, and they're going to deny the gas, and actually Cyclone lock-ons, they're going to knock down a Viking, maybe. Good scan. The Viking is maybe going to go down. Viking's dead. There we go.
Oh, he got him.
We got him.
The higher your voice gets, the more likely that Viking is to die.
So 1 league is 3.5 miles.
Wow.
So Jules Verne went deeper. The Nautilus went deeper than 2,000 atmospheres.
Yeah, but maybe it crossed 2,000 atmospheres on its way there, you know? Like it
Yeah.
must have gone through that map.
It briefly did experience that amount of atmospheres on the way deep down into the earth. So we got a auto turret spam here on the natural, so 13 workers will go down. This rally from Hanmano is not the best thing, so we will lose a tank here, getting a little bit sloppy in the mid game. But again, he's still fine. He's up 8 workers. His army supply massively ahead. His upgrades sure a little bit slower, but do you really care? You're playing a defensive game for the most part. Well, outside of the auto turrets killing every single thing on this map. Not a single Raven is dead either. And now STV's getting pulled. This army is, I don't think Hanmano had to pull his STVs, but he says, I don't really care. I've done enough damage. Doesn't really matter what I do. I can have some fun. Maybe make my STVs dance on your grave, Tavo, because that's all you got left. It's a grave.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to make sure to clear that up real quick. I think he wasn't sure exactly how much army was there. It turned out just to be a handful of Marines. Well, I mean, it was like 25 Marines, but there weren't any tanks with that, so he didn't really need the SCVs. But also, I don't think lost any, maybe 1 or 2. But yeah, not really much going down there for Hanmano. He holds that, cleans up all those Marines, takes a decent army lead. Has a little bit of a worker lead as well. Honestly, not as much as I expected after killing 15 workers. Tavo still only 4 down, and there's no 4th CC here for Hanmano, so it's still just 3 base to 3.
That it is, but Hanmano, he has upgrades just a little bit faster. Big deal, of course, is the fact that he has combat shields. His opponent does not.
Ooh, yeah.
Which really does
I think
invalidate.
that'll finish before the next engagement.
Yeah,
What's the Raven count here? Oh yeah, 2-0. The Ravens can be a really big deal, especially if Tavo has his tanks split up, which he does. He's got a lot down at the 3rd base. So shutting down 2 to 4 siege tanks here could be huge. But it looks like Hanmano is just going to do the exact same thing again and take down this gas, kill a few SCVs with some auto turrets probably, and call it a day.
Okay, now he's gonna back up.
He just does the same thing.
Do you have some deja vu, my friend? Because I absolutely do. He says, let me siege up, let me run backward, let me run forward, side to side. It's the dance here. But Tavo's setting up for a rather big surround. Problem is, though, vision is a thing. Hanmano stimming on into both sides here. All the bio is evaporating. The tanks, they're kind of split as well. Auto turrets getting dropped. Bio on the left side getting clean up all the tanks. And that is just it, Chickenman. Tavo taking too much damage. And he follows Hanmano on into the next round.
Yeah, Hanmano, very solid in that one. Definitely felt like there were some opportunities there for Tavo, but that last attack, I love the idea of trying to pincer move onto the army. But the siege up was very, very quick for Hanmano. He was already sieged by the time that bio got there and ended up kind of obliterating it. The right side went okay for Tavo, but the left side got completely swamped.